Who we've got a lot of exciting games going on. Philly, unfortunately, has taken the lead over the Knicks here in this game. The Knicks are down by 4, 57 seconds left in it. The Cavaliers did win their game over the Magic. They're up in that series 2-0. Under 5 minutes left. The Carolina is down 1 to the Islanders, and the goal was just taken off the board. So Vegas is still up 1-0 over the Stars and that one. Trying to decide which sport we're going to talk about first, but I'm just going to put on just a graphic for myself, and so um, I will. I just feel so bad 'cause I know
How you
that.
feel? How you feeling, Robbie? I know you were sick last week. That's why we didn't do a podcast last week.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I still feel a little bit of something, but not nearly as bad. Now it just feels kind of like an old sinus infection that's like left over.
Right,
So, but I'm not death warmed over. So I appreciate, the improvement in life. How have you been?
dude. You remember I told you I bought an Xbox, right?
Yes.
So I've been addicted to EA Sports PGA Tour. I've been grinding the career mode, and my golfer has already won 8 tournaments this year as a rookie on the PGA Tour. I'm currently playing in the PGA Championship, and I'm 5 shots back of the lead at the start of the first round, and I'm trying to get to the lead. And I'm hoping I get there, but I played a tournament earlier on at Pebble Beach. It was the second round. I'm 2 shots outside the cut line, and I made par in the first hole after I missed the fairway. Second hole is par 5 on Pebble Beach. Push my drive out to the left. I'm a left-handed golfer, even though I'm right-handed in real life. But push my tee shot to the left into the heavy rough by the bunker. 177 7 iron second shot, nailed it to a foot for eagle.
Oh, wow.
And I have the clip for it too. If you want to see it, I have a clip. I made a clip of it. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I nailed it to a foot for eagle from 177 with a 7 iron out of the rough. I was like, that is the best shot I've hit on this game, and I don't know how long. So
Did
I'm
you play golf games a lot growing up, or?
yes, I actually did own some of the PGA Tour Tiger Woods games.
Yeah, 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 back
Um,
in the day, yeah.
so I did. I actually that's
Oh,
oh something happened.
shit. Sorry, the Knicks just took the lead. How? How? Step back three, bounce, bounce, bounce. Oh, get the shooter roll. And they go from being down two. Oh, wow. Back to back threes. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Knicks are trying to bring it back. Trying to
Yeah,
bring it back.
102, 101. 13 seconds left. I don't know if Scott is still listening in, but holy moly, this is a hell of a game here. Because I just thought that the Knicks were up for a long time in this game, and then they kind of looked like they were collapsing here, and Philly had taken a 4 point lead, but goodness gracious, goes from a 4 point lead to a 1 point down. Still 13.1 seconds left, so plenty of time to get a shot off here. We've got 3 minutes and 16 seconds left. Carolina is still down one. Vegas is now up 2-0. They've scored 2 goals on their first 4 shots the first 10 minutes of this period. So that's pretty wild. It's crazy having both the NHL and the NBA playoffs start the same week. In a lot of the previous seasons, they'd staggered them, champ. This
Yeah, I know. I trust me. I remember like how like usually the NHL playoffs start first, and then like a week later the NBA playoffs start, and they kind of commingle at that point. But I'm this is the first that they started pretty much at the same time, which means a champion for both a Stanley Cup champion and an NBA champion could be crowned pretty much within a day or on the same day.
yeah, it's wild, but also just like so cool to see this energy and like these buildings, like MSG is lighting up every night. They've got the home number 1 seed. Uh, had a top 3 seed in basketball, and so and number 1 seed in the NHL, and just wild, that they've got to basically have 4 games in 4 days in Madison Square Garden.
Congrats to
So
Madison Square Garden for being more lit for finally being more lit than wrestling in
yeah.
that building. Because usually when wrestling's there, that's when it's the most lit. So good job on them to finally have respect really good seasons at the same time to have that building rocking when it's not a ring that's in there.
All right, so here we go. Free throws coming here. First free throw is good for the Knicks. Takes a 103 to 101 lead, 6.6 seconds left. So they missed their opportunity, and I guess it got a rebound. I missed the play there, but big free throws here, obviously. The second one is huge, and he drains it. He takes a 3-point lead, 5 seconds, four. They're coming down just cross midcourt here with 1 second left. Step back, shoots the three. It's no good. And it's a final. The Knicks win 104 to 101 and take a 2-0 lead in that series. And congrats to them. Congrats to Scott, who we hope to have on next week as a big Knicks and Rangers fan, and also a great drummer on this platform. So huge win. A big play by DiVincenzo. And Joel Embiid looks pretty upset there. So we got an empty net already, which is about 2 minutes and 20 seconds left here in the third period. So an early pull for Carolina to try to get the equalizer here in this game.
Did Carolina not learn their lesson from what happened to Philly against the Caps?
Well, the statistics say to pull it earlier and earlier these years. I
Oh,
don't know. Like,
well, the statistics were wrong because the
yeah.
Caps were able to take advantage and end up knocking them out of the freaking playoffs.
Yeah,
They
well,
should have
that
won.
was weird because, like, usually you never do it when you're tied. Like when you're losing, like it might be a little bit different. But yeah, it was. This is I guess surprising, but we'll see. I mean, they really want to not go back to the island, tied 1-1. So the Islanders win that face-off here. 2:23 left in the third to play in a board battle down low. Carolina. Oh, shoots and scores with, I believe, a tip in. So the 6-on-5 did work on this circumstance. And they tie the game up 3-3 with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the period. So here's the replay. It's a shot from the point. It's a great shot. So it goes from the corner, passes up to the dot, and it's deflected up and in. So a guy from the far post for the Canes had a stick down and deflected it into the upper corner of that's a tough thing for the goalie to get. But wow, 3-3 game, 2:15 left. Let's talk about this. Might be the first overtime game in hockey. Um, so lots of things to talk about for us, champ. And I see that Tim is coming in. We could bring Tim in right now as well. And
My
uh,
man.
Tim had just got tied in this Carolina Islanders game.
Oh, crazy comeback.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
wild.
saw the Isles were up 3-0, right?
I saw 3-1, but that might be right. It may have
Oh,
been.
okay. Well,
It
either
goes
way, good
either
game.
way. It was
Yeah.
definitely a pretty big thing. There's now
Whoa. Did Carolina just score again?
where was on the replay? Oh wow, no, I think they scored again. I think you're right. Oh yeah,
The
that's
score
banged
the
off the
scores
back of
the
the.
sports score bot just said they scored again literally what was that?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
it's
Eight
ahead
did.
of the ahead of
nine
your.
seconds
Wow,
after.
10.
9 seconds after that goal, they scored again.
Yeah,
How do you score that quickly? That's like almost impossible.
yeah, it
Well,
was
they just made it
wild.
happen. They
Yeah.
just made it happen. Jesus.
Man,
Wow.
Islanders
I
choke
guess
points.
pulling it early was the right decision, champ. So.
The
Yeah,
people
it
who are
actually
listening
it works sometimes.
the
Yeah.
people who are listening to this can't see what I'm doing, but I'm making a motion for the Islanders because they're choking right now.
Yeah, this is
Jesus Christ.
wild.
Grasping for breath for sure.
Yeah, so we got the Lakers are playing the Nuggets. That game has just started. I got it tied 3-3 with 10:25 left. Vegas is up 2-0 over Dallas, and the Caniacs are going wild right now. I mean, that place is going berserk. So
I would be too if I would like that team.
yeah, that was wild. But yeah, so the second goal was also scored at the post, but that was where banked in and off the goalie and in there. So lower goal versus the other one was tipped and went to the upper corner. So same side of the goal, but very different type of shot and deflection and in. But yeah, they go from being up. They go from being down 3-2 to up 4-3 now. And now the Islanders have to get rid of their goalie, and so it's 6-on-5 there, and it's deflected back onto their side of the ice. Um, and oh, they almost coughed it up and gave up an empty net goal right there. They're marching down. Minute 12 seconds here. So I guess this game is not gonna go to overtime, unlike I thought. And the Islanders got it down low. Carolina rips it off, and they go and they score into the empty net. And now they
That's
are
game.
fight. um,
What better thing to do after they score? What was that? Five, like, not what is it,
oh
3 or 4 unanswered goals on you? Go ahead and fight them.
yeah, he's trying to, but it's funny because Carolina doesn't want to fight them now, and so
Reverse Dale Hunter because that
yeah,
They're
was done to the
pissed. Like
Islanders too.
they're pissed. They gave up 4 unanswered goals and they're losing this game. Of course they're pissed. They're gonna want to fight.
yeah,
Shit, if I was on that team, I'd want to fight too. I'd want to fight too.
yeah,
I'd be ready to
wow.
fight somebody too. Like, oh, we gave up 4 unanswered goals and fighting somebody. Somebody getting these hands,
This
and
is
these
so
hands are ready to eat for everybody.
wow. I just can't believe how quickly that game turned around. Like 1 second, the island had it all wrapped up, and the next thing, like they get demolished. Like it's not even a close.
The Knicks did the opposite and pulled out a victory they didn't deserve. So New York's even now.
Yeah. Anyway, it's 5-3, 55 seconds left. And the Lakers are up over the Nuggets 11-5. And they're actually up in the first game against Denver. Played a really good first quarter. But unfortunately, Denver was able to put it together and seemed to be the better team and came out with that game on top. But
Okay, I know there's a lot of exciting stuff going on, but let's talk about United and what they've done the last 2 weeks, and let's talk about what DC defenders have done. Jesus Christ, two to back exciting close finish games.
yeah, that's true. Let's I will. I still haven't gotten the graphics right for this, but it will work. This is the old XFL graphics. We are in the XFL division, so we can just say that that's what it's showcasing. And the defenders, they were supposed to lose last week. Came back and won in a very exciting fashion. They were down 10 goals with less than 2 minutes left in that game. Or sorry, 10 goals, 10 points, and they ended up winning that one. They scored 11 points in the final 2 minutes and won that by one. And then the opposite happened, where the defenders were down against the top team in the UFL, the Birmingham Stallions, right? Yeah,
Yeah, Stallions.
and I keep on wanting to say Mustangs because I'm a Mustang and Stallions are close. But anyway, so the Stallion. And the Birmingham Stallions were up, and defenders came all the way back, took a 1 point lead, and it was really exciting. But they left too much time on the clock, and Birmingham marched down the field and was able to get a game-winning field goal to their kicked it right into the remaining 15 fans that were there. It was hard to watch in the case of it was a lightning delay. All the fans had left that were there. It just looked empty. It looked kind of like one of these COVID stadiums, where there's no one in it. But yeah, congratulations to the Stallions for playing in not, in pretty bad conditions. Their fans, having to leave and all that sort of stuff. And once you've been asked to leave, it's hard to get all those fans to get back into the building, especially, hours later. But credit to them, the Stallions are a really good team. But the defenders have been really good too. So they've played a good matchup. Unfortunately, uh, close losses don't amount to anything more than a blowout. But I am happy to see that they're competing, and they've got a huge matchup this upcoming week against their arch rival from last year. And it'll be interesting to see how we do. It'll be a home game. It's only our second home game of the season, and we are undefeated still in DC in the Defenders' history. So we'll see how that happens. But Champ, talk about some of these last couple of weeks, these close matchups that have gone both ways for us.
Right. So first off, with Arlington, it was a get back game after they beat us in the XFL championship last year. But this was a really exciting game. I mean, Arlington put up 419 total yards of offense to DC's 259. Usually, if you go put up 300 yards of total offense, you're not supposed to win these kind of games. But somehow they managed to do so. Teamu went out there. He was 11-24 for 188 with 2 touchdowns, a 139.1 passer rating. Perez went 24-40 for 290 yards and 2 touchdowns, a 137.4 passer rating. And I mean, it was a lot of offense, even though early on, the first quarter, it was not really a lot of offense. DC managed to get the only score of the game on a field goal, but then it started to explode in the second quarter with Arlington scored 14 points to DC 6, and it was looking like DC was not going to come back from this. But then they got up on them 9-3 in the third quarter, and then they tied it up 11-11. But by then, it was a game-winning field goal by McCrane from 49 yards out to send the crowd home happy with the victory. And so that was a really, really exciting game for them. But then they had the letdown in Birmingham, and it already was snake bitten when they had the nearly 90-minute weather delay. It was 1 hour and 26 minutes was the official number, but it was nearly 90 minutes that they had to sit in the locker room and wait for the lightning to clear out the area and for them to be able to get back on the field and to resume play. And so, when you're a football player, you're already amped up and you have to sit around for over an hour, almost 90 minutes before going back out there. And in the conditions, even though there was no lightning, it was still raining. That's going to really cost you, especially when you're already down. They were already down by like 11 by 5 points by the time they got back out there because it was almost the end of the second quarter. One thing I have to give respect to the UFL is that when they got to overtime, they immediately started the second half because you already sat for 90 minutes. You're not going to sit for another 15, 20 minutes for halftime. Like, let's keep this game going. But this is a tough one because DC had some problems with tackling. They had some problems with defense. Offense was a little bit inconsistent, though Birmingham, they were also a little bit inconsistent on both sides of the ball as well, but they still managed to put up 359 total yards to DC's 251. Teamo did have 2 touchdown passes, one which was a pretty ball on the run to his right to the back of the end zone, which was absolutely beautiful. That put them on the board first, and then the second one to the tight end, who was able to slip a tackle and then get past defenders who were taking bad angles to try to tackle him, and he was able to score that one. But in the end, as you said, Robbie, they gave him too much time on the clock. They were able to drive it down the field, and Ahmed from 46 yards in rain. Like, it wasn't like it was a drizzle or anything like that or misty. It was rain. It was a steady rainfall, and he managed to nail it down the middle of the crossbar for a field goal to win the game with 9 seconds left. And they were able to walk away to continue to be the only undefeated team in the XFL, the Birmingham Stallions, who won, I believe, they won the USFL championship last year. So they are really, really got a lot of momentum going for them, keeping this going.
Yeah, so so they're in the USFL side of the bracket, and we're in the XFL side of the bracket, and both together make the UFL for those trying to keep track of it all at home. The top two teams in each of those conferences will play each other, and the winner of that will play in the championship game. And so right now we find ourselves in the third spot, but it's all very close. I think we gotta hope that maybe there's two opportunities for lower teams to try to knock out the top teams next week, and it would help bring them back to down to size, if you will, And if we were able to win our matchup against the Battlehawks, which is gonna be a tough one because they've both teams have played each other really tough. Uh, we're trying to take that spot from the Battlehawks, so this is going to be a big opportunity for us to try and do that. Tim, have you watched any of the UFL this year?
Very little because I tried to put on the DC game when I was at Jan's house Saturday night, but it was like during the weather delay.
Got it.
And they put on another game. I think it was San Antonio versus somebody. So I just watched a little bit of it. But yeah, I kind of missed the day. I kind of missed like when it was Cardale Jones as the quarterback because I knew him from college. But as long as the team's good, I mean, that's really what you want.
Yeah,
Some
hopefully
entertaining.
to
It,
continue the
it
win
was
streak at home.
it was the Michigan Panthers versus San Antonio Brahmas. I
Uh,
watched that game. That was actually a really good game for what I got to see because
yeah,
I had it on my DVR. That was a really good game.
yeah, I watched a bit of that game as well. And oh, the other game is now on. We got LA Edmonton. Vegas just scored again. The Dallas had got it closer 2-1, but now Vegas is up 3-1 in their matchup. So some high scoring hockey games tonight. Hopefully that bodes well for the Capitals in tomorrow's matchup. The Lakers have doubled up Denver here, 22-14 early on. I guess 4.5 minutes left in this first quarter here. So for Lakers fans like myself, that makes me happy to see them doing pretty well in that one. So I don't have a lot to talk about with the DC United. I'm a little bit disappointed with the team just in the last couple of weeks. They played a really good matchup, but then conceded defeat in the 90th minute of last week's matchup, and then this week they got shut out 2-0 to a New York team, which is tough. But Champ, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, so the Orlando City matchup, yeah, as you said, they can basically they were tied at 2-2 going into the final minute of the game. Benke was able to get the scoring off early in the fifth minute to get them up 1-0. But then in the 28th minute, Orlando City was able SC was able to score. There were a lot of yellow cards in this one, which is crazy. But then Pirani was able to score with an assist from Benke in the 66th minute to make it 2-0 to 2-1. They were able to tie it in the 82nd minute. Was Orlando City, and then in the 90th minute, with in 2 minutes of in the second minute of extra time or stoppage time, McGuire was able to score it to give them the victory 3-2. And then in this past week's game, they once again gave up a goal in stoppage time, but this time they weren't even in it throughout the whole game. Rodriguez scored on a beautiful odd man rush with a touch shot to the goal that got right past the goalie into the net. And then again in stoppage time, Fernandez from across on a crossing pass was able to knock it in stoppage time to give them the victory, and they just walked away with it with a 2-0 victory. And so this doesn't bode well for United when it comes to the standings. They now sit 11th in the on the table when it comes to the Eastern Conference. That's not going to get it done when it comes down to getting into the postseason and things like that. But this was a very tough 2 week stretch for this team, and they're going to really have to strap up the boots and get it going because they got the
Cash,
Sounders
Bob.
at Audi Field on Saturday.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. So they both play this week at Audi Field. It'll be interesting, right?
The United plays 7:30 at Audi Field on Saturday, and then then the Defenders play on Sunday at 12 at Audi Field. So,
You know that also the women's soccer team plays in Audi at least most of the games, so they like double dip on the same day sometimes.
That's wild.
Yeah, they get, but it's a cool stadium though. If you guys, I don't know if you guys went,
I'm
but
curious how it's gonna hold up, with that sort of
yeah,
a lot of foot traffic, especially if it was supposed to rain on Saturday too, yeah, at times. So I think the weather hopefully is passing, but that would also, cause some issue on that field. Is it turf or is it grass? Do you
I
know?
think it's grass.
yeah, I think it's grass because it's better for soccer, which is the main sport. So
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but it's also can cause issue. I have to give the Stars credit there. They're able to get another goal back. It's now 3-2 going into the first intermission there. So a lot of scoring happening down in that Dallas versus Vegas Golden Knights game. The Edmonton versus LA game just started. There's about 13 minutes left in the first period, and that one's scoreless in that. And LeBron James is having a bit of a game so far in there. So it's been pretty exciting. I did last I saw it looked like the Orioles were winning in their game, but I haven't checked it recently. Oh, they still are up.
yeah,
They're
2-0.
2-0 against the Angels. The last week for the Orioles, they did well. They had a 4-game win streak starting with last Sunday against Milwaukee and beating the Twins 3 times in a row. They did lose in Kansas City, but then won their last 2 in Kansas City, 9-7 and then 5-0. And they're up 2-0 against the Angels there. Baltimore right now finds themselves in first place in the AL East. They are just 1 game above the Yankees, who have played 2 more games than them. So it's 15-8 versus 14-7. So by
GG's, Tim.
yeah, so that's a good big
Yeah,
turn.
got to win tonight though to keep it because it's like basically tied. So
Yeah, but it's a big turnaround from where they were a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about them last time. So
oh
uh,
yeah,
they,
definitely had a great week.
yeah, and so I'm happy to see that. The other team that had a good week. Let me do our I'll be.
I went to the Nats game by the way. The walk-off game Saturday,
Oh,
420.
nice.
That
Let's
was,
talk
Yeah, it
about it.
was awesome.
yeah, talk about it.
Well, what I like is, as you guys probably know, the whole weekend 3-game set was celebrating the World Series championship. So they had a giveaway related to the World Series, all 3 games, and a lot of players came back. And Saturday was the best because they gave out replica rings, and they were like actually heavy metal, so it wasn't like cheap plastic. It was better than you would expect, so that was cool. And the Astros were up for much of the game, but the Nats came back with 2 runs in the ninth, and then I won it in the 10th on a walk-off. So it was a great game, good weather. The Astros had a lot of fans, and they were talking some trash, especially because like Altuve and Bregman all got booed because they're cheaters and they didn't appreciate it. But it was fun, to get the win for Washington because a lot of Texan Astro fans went home sad. But it was a feel good game, good crowd. The Nats aren't doing great this season, but I think they're improving. So at least in that series, they won 2 out of 3,
Yeah,
and the
no, actually,
Astros are
last week they did really well.
yeah,
And,
yeah. I mean, they're not bad. They're below 500, but they won that series, and they were able to troll the Astros with celebrating, against their opponent from 5 years ago. So that was, I thought, a bold move, but a great way to sell more tickets. So
It was good marketing gimmick. They also beat the Dodgers
definitely,
in 2 out of 3 this week too. So they won both.
yeah,
So they won 4 out of 6 games this week, which is what the goal is. And so,
yeah, take that every
um,
week.
yeah, exactly. And so they'll play the Dodgers again in a 3-game series Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, this time in Washington. The first two will be at 6:45 tomorrow on Wednesday, and then at 4:05 on Thursday, and then they go to Miami, and then they play a 4-game series there. They play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at Miami, with the Friday one at 7 o'clock, 7:10. The Saturday's at 4:10, Sunday at 1:40, and then next Monday will be a 6:41. So we'll have a post game talk about them next week in that series. So hopefully they can find a way to win 5 out of those 7 and get themselves in a better position because they are moving up the standings. So it's good to see
Yeah,
have a better week as well. And it's cool that you got to go to that matchup. And as you were saying, like in that game, they were down and they actually had to score both runs to force extra innings, and then they were able to get that extra run in the 10th inning. So that's always an exciting game. And so yeah, I'm excited to see that they have been improving as well. Um, Let me
yeah,
just see.
definitely. I think getting better from last year, and Abrams is a great young player. They have some good talent. I mean, I don't think they're ready this year for the playoffs, but they're moving in the right direction. And like, it's not like I don't expect them to lose 100 games or anything like that, even though some people did predict that. So
Yeah, for sure. We'll give a quick little scoring update. The Edmonton Oilers, our friend Adrian will be happy to know
yeah,
it
shout out to Adrian.
is scored a goal. So they are not shut out at home. So that's a big start for them. And they are up 1-0 in this matchup. Still 11 minutes left in the first period. So we're still very early in the game, but obviously you always want to score first in hockey.
I li- the NHL schedule is weird, by the way, to like have the West games, the West series start later just because the season like ended a little later because now there was 2 East games that played games 1 and 2 before those series even started
Yeah,
tonight.
it was a little strange because also just the scheduling in general.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Going back to last week,
And and the East Coast ended 2 days before the West Coast did.
like
And
the news didn't travel far west fast enough to end the season. They were like, we need 2 more days.
yeah, I don't
Just
really
weird.
know. It is weird. It also opens up opportunities for stadiums. Ooh, that's a nice goal right there. Oilers now go up 2-0 over their arch rival, the Kings. Oh, multi.
Fast start for them.
That was so random. Like YouTube TV was like, "Yeah, we're just done with multi-view." I don't. They just like ended it. I like that. Wait, why? And they were like, "Yeah, you're just gonna watch one thing now." I was like, "Wait, what?" Like that was random as hell. There was still a bunch of games going on. Yeah, they just decided. Oh, they started a brand new multi-view. All right, I'm gonna use this one. Hold on. That was just like really randomly way to do it. They were like, "Yeah, just stop casting this one and go look it up again." I was like, "I'm watching that." So anyway, the new multicast, if anyone's watching YouTube TV, has got the Stars versus the Golden Knights, the Lakers versus the Nuggets, and the Kings versus the Oilers. So we got LA and 2 sports going on right now. But yeah, a lot of fun playoff action going on. One thing I do want to talk to Champ about real quick before we end our